Hi, everyone. We are back for week number 6 of Counting the Omer. There's one more week after this week to go. And our theme this week is keeping count. How has it been helpful to keep count of something? And when has it not been helpful? And what lessons have you learned?
Part of this time at home, I've been trying to count all of the things that I've been doing to help myself not only just kind of mark time and keep track of it, but also to feel like I'm accomplishing something. And I was paying attention this morning to the way that the young children we work with kind of process and deal with the situation of being all at home together. And what I noticed is instead of trying to do something new every day, accomplish something new, they find so much joy in going back to the things that they've already done and doing them over and over. We post new videos on our YouTube for Foundation School, but the ones that get the most hits are those first ones that we posted. And the kiddos just love going back to them and watching them over and over. And I've just been thinking about that for myself and how we as adults maybe could learn something from this too, that maybe instead of counting all the progress we can be making, we can find joy in repeating those things that we've been doing that we really like to do.
I think, we've all had the experience recently of losing track of our days, right? That everything kind of blurs into each other. It's hard to tell weekend from week. It's hard to tell which day is which. And one of the things I've been thinking about is how much more important it even makes the kind of milestones that we can find, right? That we can create for ourselves or that we can celebrate individually or together at this time. So for me, Shabbat is even more important right now because it's a different time each week. I'm thinking about we're ending our year for Aliyah. We've had our 5 weeks of learning online together, and this milestone of ending the year together in a special way next weekend, I feel like is even more important right now in the way that we do that. And the same thing with holidays, and the same thing with celebrating a child's bar or bat mitzvah. These milestones, even if they're very different than the way that we are used to celebrating them, to me, they become even more significant because of the way that it's harder to count time right now.
I'm with you on the making Shabbat even more special. I have to remember that it is Shabbat every week and hold that space. And one of the ways that I know in our house that Shabbat is coming is because we started a daily gratitude wall in our house. So when I didn't realize how long this was going to go on, every morning we would wake up and say Modeh Ani and write the date on a piece of paper and each of our names, and we'd share one thing that we were grateful for that day. We now do it at dinner because I didn't like starting the day with too many rules. But we now have this wall that's covered, and I can count how many weeks we've been doing this by how many columns we have. And so I know when we get to the last color, we only do it on the 5 weekdays, the 5 weekdays. I know when I see that last color coming that it's also Shabbat is here. And it's been really wonderful to come downstairs and see my wall covered in all of the things that we are grateful for. And sometimes it's also one of those overwhelming moments of, oh my goodness, we're going to run out of wall space very soon. I can't believe we've been doing it this long. And I think that each of these examples that you both just shared are really about how keeping count is helpful and can be a little bit scary, but really it helps us to know where we're at and ground us in a way. That's what Shabbat is. That's what watching that same video or doing the same thing again and again, it brings us grounding. So we want to know how is it helpful for you to keep count? And maybe if it isn't, why it hasn't been helpful, and what have you learned in this counting of the Omer? Have a great week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.